All right, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Tabz, and of course you guys know that, and welcome to a brand new video on the channel. So yesterday's video, I asked you guys if you guys wanted to see a how to make a legit config, give you guys some tips and tricks on a config, but also explain a little bit of why I think I don't really get banned on this account. There's a couple reasons. Some make more sense than others, and some are just guesses. But either way, we're injected with plague cheats. This is primarily a rage cheat, but I'm going to show you how to make a legit config with it. And this video is brought to you guys by the guys over at Recovery King. So if you guys want to use code TABS on checkout, first link in the description down below. Feel free to do so. Either way, we're going to hop right into it.
Hard drive loaded, stubble and coated.
So hopping straight into it, we are going to do shared here because rifles, your SMGs and heavies are all going to be the same, and we're going to override for others. So for general, we're going to go enable, and we're going to make this mouse 1. For field of view, you want to stay below a 2.4 or 2.5, generally speaking. So I'm just going to go with a 2.2. Our smoothing, you're going to want to keep it on the higher end, but it doesn't have to be super high. Sometimes you can get away with it differently in some cheats. Like the smoothing on this one goes to 100. I'm going to start out with about 60 and see how that feels. I'm going to turn off head because chest and stomach is all you really need. If you have good crosshair placement, you don't need the head hitbox on, as you are going to tend to get more headshot kills anyways. And of course there is non-stick, and what non-stick means in most cheats is it's going to lock on for that first shot, and once the target has locked and the crosshairs got to the bone selected, it's going to release the aimbot, no longer aimbot for you. You could choose to use that, but you don't have to. I would recommend, once you get decent with your normal aim, turn on non-stick. But for here we have trigger, and trigger is going to be different for a lot of cheats. Sometimes it's worth using, sometimes it's not. A lot of the times trigger is super obvious if there's no humanization option for it, but for delay, for MS, I'm going to set it around, I think anything below 100 is considered inhuman. So you can try to keep it around the 110, 112. The problem is if it's the same MS every time you shoot, at some point in time, VAC Live is going to catch on that it's the same delay every time. So I do wish there was like a setting where you could set it from like 85 to like 120, and then just have the trigger bot automatically figure out what's going to be used for that scenario. For hit chance, we're going to just go ahead and do 34. For filters, we're going to do head, chest, and stomach. And of course, there is a magnet option, and the magnet FOV shouldn't be any more than like a 1.2 degree. And the smooth, we're going to try to copy it. So about 60 to 64. For accuracy, we have position adjustment. You don't need any of this. If you tend to fuck up with your recoil control, put the position adjustment to low. And then for recoil P and Y, or your X and Y axis, try to get used to it being at 50 or below, and then kind of just crouch and pull down yourself. So we're going to really quickly try these legit settings here. So I'm just going to buy an M4A1S. So you'll see it's not super locking. So that smoothing is honestly really good. Let's try to target transfer ourselves here. So 1. You can see it corrects itself a little bit. And you'll see if I just tap simply, that's a pretty good smoothing. Of course, you could lower the smoothing if you wanted it to be a little bit more snappier. But for me, I feel like as long as I know the target's there, I can kind of snap to them pretty decently, as you can see. So the smoothing you can adjust yourself, but anything low is going to be somewhat obvious, especially in a replay, given that the replay is kind of a lower tick rate than how you actually play, which is weird, but that just seems to be the case. So now moving on to pistols, because this was shared, what I'm going to recommend is this. So I'm going to go over to pistols. We're going to enable the field of view for pistols. You want it to kind of be at like a 1 or below. A 1 with a 10 smooth or a 0 smooth can look snappy, but not if you're decent with flick. So head, chest, stomach is fine. I would honestly just do head and chest. If I was doing this on a normal config, it would be head and neck, like on a different sheet. Non-stick is definitely what you want in this scenario. And then for trigger bot, you can go ahead and set that up the exact same, about like a 112, 104. Hit chance for pistols, you kind of want it to be a 30. Filter, head, and chest. Honestly, we just want head. And then, of course, we have magnet. We're going to go ahead and keep that at about a 1. And then we'll copy the same smoothing here. And then we don't need accuracy adjustments or anything like that. So we can give this a try. So you'll see for the first shot, it slowly moves. So if you're flicking, you should be able to get it pretty good. That's just flicking. That's not trigger bot. This is trigger bot. You'll see the magnet takes a little bit of time, but we'll go right here with the 1 FOV. Hold the button. Sadly, Plague has had the worst trigger bot. I think it's Plague and Predator have some of the worst trigger bots because there's like no actual settings for them. But again, there you go. That one was trigger. And then this should help you as long as you're like decent aim. This should help you get headshots, as you can see. And it doesn't look unnatural. And this is what I would recommend for all pistol settings. As long as you're not spam firing, it shouldn't be too much. So when it comes to deagle, this is going to be the same for all pistols. Revolver, you definitely want non-stick, and you probably want to have your FOV just a little higher, but your smoothing raised a little bit as well when it comes to the trigger. Now, when it comes to the op, you kind of want to treat it just like you do the pistols, but the FOV on an op, you can get away with being a little higher. So for the op, you can go to about a 1.8 and still look rather legit. The smoothing, you want to keep it around a 5, at least with this cheat, and you want to take head off, and non-stick does not matter as you click once. As long as you're somewhat close, it just looks like a flick. It looks instant on our half, but what the other person's going to be seeing is it's literally just to help you flick. As you can see, I can almost take a shot flicking anyone, and it's going to hit almost 10 out of 10 times. And this is just going to help you with low-level flicks for the FOV that you're at. The one thing that people forget about opping in Counter-Strike, especially with FOV, if the cheat doesn't have dynamic FOV, my FOV for right here is going to say because these guys are far away, the FOV like this, see how you can see my face, just my face through the circle? The farther someone gets, the more you see with an FOV. So the closer they are, the smaller the FOV or the flick. So right here, for example, if I aim at this guy's shoulder, we know that it's going to flick, right? But if I aim about this high, it's not going to lock. But if we aim that high on someone further away, about right here, it's going to lock because that FOV is larger and the player is smaller than the FOV the further they get away. So just keep that in mind. If you're long range opping, you don't plan to do any close range stuff, the best field of view I found for an op is about 0.9 FOV, and I'll show you why. No snap crazy lock, go just a little bit closer. Perfect kill. And that's the exact way you should be setting it up an op to look legit. Now, honestly, shotguns, treat it the exact same as an op. SSG, treat it the exact same as an op, but the SSG, you're probably going to want to make it so that you're on head, chest, and stomach. With the op, I don't really suggest head because you might find yourself getting headshots on flicks that most people wouldn't hit, and it's going to get you called out. Now, again, I want to preface this by saying the aimbot setup that you guys are seeing, it can be hidden very well depending on how you play. For theatrics and how I play for videos, I kind of just go all out because it makes it more interesting. I don't try to hardcore closet cheat. If you guys want to see a video on that, get this video to 150 likes and let me know in the comments down below. We'll do like a hardcore closet cheating. But yeah, no, this is the best way to do it in terms of being legit. Now, when it comes to visuals, if you guys really need visuals, I would recommend something basic. You don't need box. Honestly, health is absolutely fine. It's really good for actually paying attention to what's going on around you. Weapon is also very useful, especially icon doesn't take up as much room as text. And then you also have ammo and out of view indicator. Ammo is 50-50. Sometimes you can get away with knowing that you can push somebody and they have low ammo, but it also is kind of telling if, you know, they're very low on ammo and you just all of a sudden go from hiding the entire gunfight to all of a sudden pushing. So I would definitely recommend out of view indicators. This is going to let you know if someone's flanking, and it might even remind you to check behind you, which is something that players do in Counter-Strike. When you're cheating, you don't really think about what's behind you because you can see everyone on your screen. Out of FOV indicators are 100% useful. Flags are also useful too. So flags, we can do distance, scoped, bomb. That's pretty much all you really need, just to see if someone's scoped so that you know not to peek. And then bomb also so you have information of where the bomb's going. Now, I can't stress this enough. When it comes to cheating in Counter-Strike, there is ways to do it where losing rounds makes sense. Because at the end of the day, winning the game is what matters. It doesn't really matter round-based. So my biggest thing, at least with me, is I try to prioritize killing the bomb carrier. I don't try to do this as often because people will start calling it out, like how they know the bomb was going here, etc. So what you should try to do is the first 2 or 3 rounds in a game, try to watch where the bomb carrier is going. And then based on the 3 rounds that you've played, decide what site you want to play after that. Because then you'll kind of get the comfort zone of whoever usually carries the bomb in your game, or, you know, the first 3 people that carry the bomb. If they go A twice and then B once, if they go B twice and then A once, or they go A, B, A, you might want to sit A if you notice that they're switching it up. Just try to plant yourself in the game to be as legit as possible without directly following the bomb all the time. That's the best advice I can give for that. Chams, this is completely up to you if you want to use that. I'm going to be honest with you. Anything that you use that's going to give you ESP is going to make you a little bit more obvious to the fact that you're cheating, because you're going to do things that you wouldn't normally do. You're going to you're going to peek an area that you haven't peeked before. And that's another thing. If you peek an area that you haven't peeked before, you should definitely re-peek that spot next round. It just makes a lot more sense. I get called out for that a lot, but that's again because I'm recording videos and I just want to get rounds done. But yeah, like just repetition is the best way to get your teammates to think you're not cheating, because they see you play more than the enemy does. The enemy just dies to you. In extras, don't override your FOV. You can change overall view model, but don't change your FOV, because your FOV is going to be pretty much the same for everyone. And it's going to be super obvious if you peek someone that you can see on your screen with an edited FOV, but they couldn't see them. Anything else here is kind of at your own discretion. You really don't need anything too crazy here. Try playing with a bind for ESP so that when you need info, you can just hold the button really quick. Most cheats these days do have a toggle for ESP. I'd recommend that. If you're not using a toggle for ESP, try using just radar. Enough, information from radar, you're going to know where they're at on the map, but you're not going to be pre-aiming exactly where their head is about to turn the corner every time, because you can see it. That's how I would set up a config. Either way, we're going to hop into a game with the config that I just made now, so let's go play. And mind you, while we're looking for a game right now, I have 20 people looking to play, and yesterday's game, we basically kind of went obvious. I mean, we go obvious on the account all the time. 20 looking to play right now. Not a single one in non-prime. So I don't know. The other tips that I had for you guys are limit your FPS to 120. It seems to mess with the VAC live system a little bit. Something to do with the tick rate. I don't know how 100% true that is, but it's something I do is record in 120 FPS. And I also play in 120 FPS locked so that everything is like really well synced with no kind of tearing or anything. It's not common to tear, but sometimes it happens. And the other thing is, honestly, man, there's this rumor that I've been talking to Steve about. It's like anyone that spends like $500 on Counter-Strike related things or on Valve releases such as Steam Decks, you kind of seem to get stuck in green trust permanently. It's very weird. Don't know the truth behind it, but it would make sense why this account has lasted 3 seasons with no spread raging and all that kind of stuff, with no trust factor problems or bans. It makes 0 sense. I'm still getting this glitch with Plague they never updated where I just have no skins until I die. It's fucking annoying. I need this guy to kill me so I start with skins. There we go. All right. Back in Wingman, hoping to hit global on this account. As you guys know, we started this yesterday. We got Supreme very quickly. Yeah, now we have skins again. So these guys are going apps. I'm going to give you guys a play-by-play of what's going on in my head. They didn't peek here. I'm going to continue to peek just so that it looks like it's legit. Now that there's like no Overwatch in the game, you don't really need to do this. There we go. We got some shots off on that guy. We're just going to spray a bunch to make it look like we're missing so we're not perfect. And that's it. Literally, that's it. Good shit, man. You saved my fucking life.
It was a little far for the dudes.
I could have 100% trigger botted that guy. That guy, I just peeked because I figured he pushed here. I could see his head. That's kind of just the play-by-play that I'm giving. It's making me realize how narcissistic cheaters are as I explain the thought process behind trying not to get banned. And hey, you know what? Self-admitted. You know what I mean? Well, you got to be narcissistic to be a YouTuber, but you know what I mean. Right now, I'm just going to hold angles, prepare to nade, that kind of thing. I'm hoping... Yeah, okay, so my teammate shot, so I know they're both there. I'm going to just count down this random. Whether they peek or not, I'm just going to throw it. It's one. I know he's there now. I'm going to reposition myself so that when he goes to peek me, he will get headshotted. He got me there. I didn't expect him to jump up, even though I have ESP. I tried to ignore my ESP a little bit, so I knew that he was in that corner, but I didn't notice that he had jumped up because I was trying not to pay attention. Now, I could save, but like, really? Like, what's the point, you know? Try to get some early damage out the gate with these guys. So I'm going to nade. He's there. I know I'm going to get some damage off. My teammate should be able to take that guy. No one's peeking here. I have no confirm without ESP that someone is peeking. So, hey, can you watch that ping? And then I'm gonna hold arches. That was just a random spray. He did walk into it with or without ESP. He did flash and smoke, so that was a given pre-fire you can do. I've got no armor, so I'm just gonna peek out really quick. He's not here. Go ahead and just peek this. I don't want this kill personally. Perfect. I didn't want the kill. I don't want too many kills, especially if I'm trying to play super legit. So that's how I'm gonna play that round. Now I'm gonna go ahead. Flashbang, Kevlar, buy whatever the fuck you want, really. I tend to do the thing where I buy 2 flashes, a smoke and a nade or a molly and a nade for this map. Molly is the best you can buy. He went there. I'm going to bounce that nade there, and then I'm going to short flash and then peek. In that scenario, you'll see that I tried to flick as fast as possible, but I think the aim kind of took over for me a little bit. So I'm going to go back to shared here. And then for field of view, I'm going to lower that just a little bit to 1.9. Flashing sight, they're on site. One more flash. So I can hear them. I'm going to try to use this smoke to my advantage. Smoke used to my advantage. He shot me first. I was able to engage. Nading deep left. Try to get a flash off this wall. I let go too early. Same spot I peeked previously, so why not peek it again, you know? Let's just bum rush right side, man. Fuck it. Mollier's dead. Oh, fuck. I picked up an MP9. Doesn't even matter. Nice shit. Oh, fuck. I don't want to reload. I want him to think I'm rotating. I know he shot from that direction, so... Oh, yeah, he stepped. I'm gonna molly deep left side, try to get the guy lower a little bit. You want to go like apps or something like that? Might be able to cut him off if you get loud. I got pre-naded, fuck. Flashing sight. Flashing again. Nice, GG. And there you go. Not a single call out all game. The guys on the other team even said GG. Global Elite, baby. We did it. We did it live. I got fucking global.